Hello, you fine folks. It's time for another episode of Pokemon Colosseum. If you're wondering why I'm standing dead still, that's because I'm doing this in post, as I lost the audio to the episode. And now you can probably see what I normally do in between episodes, which is normally just take... This is, I believe, is an audio sync thing. However, I am recording this a solid 3 months after recording the video. Woo! Oh, it's been a while. The reason for that is, well, I had a close family member die, and motivation had been a bit low for a while. But now I'm ready, put myself back together, and it's time for a new beginning, I guess. Probably, maybe, hopefully. So, I'm very excited for today, as I am going to be recording a new series today, while allowing, and then finally making some of the Colosseum videos public, so people can actually watch them and stuff. Hooray. So, that's gonna be fun. I'm probably going to be recording that while this video's uploading. That'll be nice. Having some coffee. Delicious. And then there's Silver, or Sylvia, or whatever. I don't know why Silver was wondering why I wouldn't help him if I didn't know Duking. It seemed like the right thing to do, given he just got smashed by the two ladies in the previous part. Mirror B! It has been too long with your arm, which seems to be flailing around. Do you think he controls that? We'll see. Anyways, so this is basically going to be a gigantic update video, I guess, because I'm going to be recording multiple series at once so I can let the comments catch up to the video if there are any comments, which I hope there are, because I'm hoping to get some nickname suggestions for Pokemon and the like, so that'll be cool. What other things have been happening? Well, it's a beautiful day today, and I'm absolutely cooking because there's a building site right next to me, so I have to have the window closed when recording audio, otherwise you won't be able to hear a damn thing. So, when it comes to this, it's gonna be fun. I have also got a very big news that I have been saving up some money on the side, and I have ordered myself a 3DS capture card. Oh yes, it's gonna be a thing. I have no idea when it's arriving. Given it's coming from Japan, it's gonna take a while. That's just all part of the parcel if you order anything from Japan. So as a result, I won't expect any 3DS or DS things anytime soon, but when it arrives, you bet your ass I'm gonna be up doing that. I'm gonna promise this now, so for the internet can see, should the 3DS capture card arrive in time, I will be doing a blind Nuzlocke run of Pokemon Sun. Not Moon, because praise the sun, as Solaire has taught us. So that is gonna be cool as fuck. Now I'm gonna have another swig of coffee for that in my brand new Darth Vader mug. I'm hoping the teaspoon doesn't cause too much clattering. I also realised while editing, because the TV I recorded this on is tiny and quite old, I didn't notice until I was editing that my character was actually, instead of being called ... U, it is actually now ... U. That was a bit of an issue, because legitimately on the TV I could not tell the difference. But hey, it gives my character a bit more of a soul, doesn't it? But still, we are gonna be facing this guy, I guess. Who are you again? Dokkan! Who? H-U. Dokkan. There we go. If you ignore the nter, we have Hadouken. And I never noticed that before. Oh thank god, Skiploom's gonna be is in purification range. It means it can be benched. Oh, it may have been 3 months, but I still remember how garbage that Skiploom is. I've used him once, never again. Just because it really needs 2 TMs to be even usable. It needs a TM for Sunny Day, and it needs Solar Beam. Or it needs to be teamed up with something which knows Sunny Day. As then the Chlorophyll ability hits in, and then with Solar Beam, it can then do instant cast Solar Beam and actually do damage despite its pretty terrible stats. It can then do about as much damage as, say, Quilava can at that point. But hey, at least it'll be fast with Sleep Powder, I guess. And yes, feel free to leave any naming suggestions in the comments. I have no idea what my final team is gonna be quite yet. You'll probably get a bit of a closer idea of that. No spoilers by the time we actually reach the point where we can change Pokemon's nicknames. And as a result, I've actually deliberately left the episode where I actually nicknamed the Pokemon unrecorded quite yet. However, to avoid delays in uploading, it would be quite nice having a nickname list in advance. Hell, I even nicknamed the Pokemon I'm not using. It sounds like fun. And, Skiploom. I would say you did your job, I'm not entirely sure you were. Wow, that sucks. But hey, Quagsar's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool Pokemon, I'll have you know. I mean, look at that face. Is that a face which could lie to anyone? I mean, all it just wants to do is burn everything, because that's what the Leprechaun says. Just burn it all. Just everything. Synchronize. I actually really like Synchronize a lot as an ability. Oh, I probably should have watched some of the previous episodes before watching this, but whatever, I'm doing it live. As always. Well, actually, it's always live commentary, except in this case. But because I haven't watched the episode, it's simulated live. The best kind. So I'm curious, what's everyone's favourite Pokemon game? Just in general. Because I'm gonna say this now, this one is my favourite. I believe I said that in the first episode. But it's true. And I just love everything about it. I love the atmosphere. I love the fact it makes you use Pokemon you wouldn't normally use. And that's a nice way of saying it makes you use somewhat bad Pokemon quite a lot of the time. It has a fun story. It actually has a story, which is quite nice too. The story is a bit silly, but you know what? I'm okay with silly. I'd take silly over melodramatic any day. I love the art direction of this game. It felt like they were actually aiming for the Gen 1 demographic in this one. And by that I mean people who were about 10 when Gen 1 came out, or 9 or 10-ish. And so they were about 14, 15 by the time this game came out. I feel like it was aiming for that demographic, and I appreciate that. It shows growth, and the willingness to take risks, which I feel is somewhat lacking nowadays. But that's fine. Games are a lot more expensive to make now, I guess. And to be honest, these games aren't going anywhere. In fact, I very rarely play brand new games. I tend to be very cheap on that regard. Because normally when I tend to normally be about 2 or 3 years behind when it comes to games. That's because I've always been about that point. Oh, there's the poison animation. I don't think we've seen that before. Actually, I think we have. Ignore me. Because in my family we got an N64 in the year 2000. Although, that was because I got outvoted by my brothers. I wanted a Dreamcast! which in retrospect the N64 may have been the better option, but because it's much easier to find N64 games for the most part. But my god, I so badly wanted a Dreamcast when I was at that age, and now I have one, and it is wonderful. I play a ton of fighting games for it, and when I was at MCM Comic Con London in May, I ended up finally finding a semi-affordable arcade stick. Although use affordable in quotation marks. Those arcade sticks for the Dreamcast, the official ones, not cheap. Not gonna lie. I feel like this is turning into more of a podcast episode. That's cool. Podcasts are cool. This new series I'm really looking forward to recording. Partly because it'll give me something to do while all my bandwidth is being eaten by uploading the footage of this episode. Because, my god, it is a long process. However, we are approaching a halfway point. I'm gonna have a swig of water, but I gotta keep that voice box in good condition now. Now, I'm really looking forward to actually recording again. I've been in a bit of a slump for the last little bit, but actually, to put into context as to when I was recording, a few days ago was the London Star Wars celebration, and so I went there, and I spoke to some of the people at BioWare there, which is really cool. I met the Valen's voice actress, and I also met the man who written the Trooper storyline, who is also the creative lead. Now, I did mention I would love to have a Sith Lord with a West Country accent as an Easter egg, but I have even bigger news. That from the developers themselves, whose poster is right behind me, the poster they signed is right behind me, but I can't check because otherwise I'll have too much rustling. While I find it, but according to them, I'll put their name in the comments section, don't you worry. That the Star Wars version of Space Australia is in fact Tatooine. And I totally agree with that. And now we must wait with bated breath for the patch which will give a bunch of people on Tatooine Australian accents. Because, my god, we must go to Space Oz. Now, in the meantime, I've got a question for all the viewers, if any, watching this. Would anyone be interested if I did a Star Wars The Old Republic Let's Play? Because I really love that game. And at the moment there is a Dark vs. Light event happening. If anyone's up for it, then leave a comment. Hell, I'll even be willing to have people do it with me. We can do a Skype call or something and just record it on OBS. And then as a result, we'll be able to level as a group. It will be Republic side because I haven't leveled any Republic characters, so I'd have a completely new experience. And that'll be cool. But yeah. If anyone's interested in that, let me know, because I think my viewer base is so unbelievably tiny. I think that we could probably have a Skype call with all of us in. To be honest, we could probably just have a group of us in SOTOR and it would probably work out, because even though the regular group limit is 4, that's how big I imagine my viewer base will be by the time this episode comes out. Maybe someday I'll have the double-digit celebration stream. That has been something I've been mulling over in my head, whether or not to cut down the upload time, because the upload time is legitimately about 10 hours. I found an app called Clipchamp, which basically lowers it to about 6. That's still an astronomically long time. So what I think I was mulling over in my head was whether or not to do it over Twitch, and then use the Twitch servers to basically upload the things for me. But I work, which is a bit of an issue in that regard. Because it means I'll only have like 2 days to do this, and with recording properly, I could kind of do it in the morning or in the very early morning, like right now. It's like sunrise. But it is at the moment 4:30 a.m. the height of July. I guess I could have the window open right now, but I don't want to risk having any noise pollution. And also in the evening. But each side has their pros and cons. Obviously with this, by doing it this way, I can polish the audio a bit. Using Audacity, because I really like doing that. I love Quags are such a beast. You're even hitting a physical wall like coughing, which is one of my favourite Pokemon. Why do I love poison types so much? My favourite type. Actually my favourite type is the poison type. And my favourite Pokemon is Nidoking. So there you go. Oh, thinking of my favourite things. When the capture card arrives, I will absolutely be just binge recording all of my favourite DS and 3DS games. Spoiler, it's mostly going to be DS games. As my favourite DS game, actually my favourite game, period, is Advance Wars Dark Conflict. So you can guarantee there will be a Let's Play of that. There will also be a Let's Play of Fire Emblem Fates. But given how I have no idea when it arrives, the capture card that is, it will be difficult to put time on it. I believe they send an email once it's finished and ready to go. So I'm waiting with bated breath for said email. As once the email arrives, I'll be able to plan everything and scheme. Maybe I'll put a straw poll up to see what games people want first. But if it's approaching November, I think it's November when the Pokemon game when Pokemon Sun and Moon comes out. When it's approaching November, the blind Nuzlocke will be taking priority. Because it's a blind Nuzlocke, it'll be fun. However, I will be doing all the grinding off screen. Unless people don't want me to. It's so far in advance, you may, if anyone's actually watching this, you may as well tell me. That guy got obliterated just there. Oh, it wasn't even close. I like that guy. But that's not going to stop me from just annihilating it. Why was I so slow in that bit? Right, yeah. I forgot about Hyper Potions not allowing you to use items. Yeah, it's like the one of the few downsides to it, but to be honest, Hyper Mode is so sweet, doesn't really matter. I'm starting to sound like a Cypher agent, aren't I? That's worrying. Maybe I have been on Cypher's side the whole time. And I'm just pretending to be the good guy. Like the original plot of Pokemon XD, or XD. I actually also really like Pokemon XD. Actually, one thing I discovered when at Comic-Con was just how expensive games like Fire Emblem Path of Radiance, Radiant Dawn, and to an extent Pokemon XD are now, because Nintendo doesn't want to re-release them for whatever reason. As I said, I'm willing. I've said it before. I don't know if I've said it on video before, but I've said it to my friends before that the Nintendo NX will have GameCube games on its virtual console as a launch feature to make people want to buy it, and I am willing to bet money on it. I am willing to bet a shiny penny, which is in my wallet for it. So there we go. Epic proof there. Getting the obligatory heart gauge down for Flaffy. Flaffy's done serviceably, but to be honest, it's a special attacker stuck with a physical moveset right now. However, it does come with Thunderbolt, which is cool. I'm not sure if I'm planning on using it or not. It's difficult to say, really. However, maybe. We'll see. I may need to watch the last episode again, just so I can get a bit of my mindset. But to be honest, I can imagine Flaffy being used, just because it has Thunderbolt and Thunderwave, which are two totally sweet moves. However, I may want to use a different electric type, just to, you know, change things up. Actually, I can't remember if there is many electric types in this game. Should maybe just be that and the mysterious Pokemon which showed up in the opening cutscene, which may or may not be catchable in this game, despite I believe it being on the front cover. I'm going to quickly look at my stack of games, which are directly to my left, to check. It's on the front cover. Well, there we go. Mystery solved. So yes, if you remember what the Pokemon Colosseum front cover looks like, or you know, you can do a Google image search, then you can find out what the mysterious electric type I am mentioning is. Although, to be honest, we may not necessarily need electric type. Ampharos is fine, but Ampharos is also used by literally anyone who's... literally everyone's first playthrough of this and any Gen 2 game, or the Gen 4 remake. Which, to be honest, I kind of want to use Pokemon which I haven't really used before. But I am looking forward to one Pokemon in particular in this area. It is my favourite Pokemon to catch in this bit because it makes Mirror B so absolutely trivial. It's hilarious. And you shall see soon enough. I can't remember if I catch it in this episode or the next episode. Or if I've already caught it. To be honest, I've been paying more attention to the timer of the things to make sure I don't overrun than the video footage. Whoops, my bad. And also looking out the window, because this is actually a beautiful view I have out my window. I should post a video of it. I will actually, and I'll put a link into an imager post in the comments. It'll be nice. The only issue with said view is that in the afternoons, which I'll admit, I'm very rarely in the afternoon because I work for most of the day. But in the mid-afternoon throughout until like the sun sets, basically, the sun reflects off the building next to me, and just makes it be blinding. And like the only real downside, and the building side. But you know what? Everything's fine. So I noticed at the timer we are approaching the end of the episode, which is pretty sweet. I will say, MVP of this episode probably goes to Quagsire. I haven't thought of a name yet, but we shall see in the future. Oh, you crashed out! Oh no! Whatever shall we do? Well, I think that this is a pretty good time to stop. So, thank you very much for watching this long, rambling rant of mine. And I shall see you fine folks in the next one. Bye!